Welcome to Finding the Health in You, the part of my podcast where I talk about health related issues. And if you have watched my podcast before, you know pretty much where I'm coming from, why I'm doing what I'm doing, and where that motivation started from. This was a already interesting day. I originally was going to come on at 1 p.m. today, but I got caught up because health issues. I actually just came from the ER, and so I'm back to do the show. I knew they was going to take a long time, so I pushed the time back 2 hours. So glad to be back. Everything's good. But while I was there, I actually learned something. So I'm probably going to do a show next week, maybe further, maybe 2 weeks from that, because I got a lot of research to do, a lot of studying. But I think I found a good thing today. That's probably going to I don't like to speak too soon, but I think I might have found something that's gonna alleviate one major issue. Anywho, basically saying uh, I share this journey with a lot of you because I wish that I had somebody there with me when I first ran into my medical issues, tell me things to guide me, to let me know, get me to some game. So, I'm paying it forward. Um, so I hope you guys get all the answers that you want. This is for all the people who email me through my Monday through Friday show at Boxing Fans Talk TV. Talk about boxing, the latest and greatest for fighters and their news. And sometimes we talk about health. That's not all the time, but when the mood strikes. And a lot of you have emailed me about diet, weight loss. So I said, we're going to talk about it this Sunday. And so, y'all know the drill. Before we get into that, let's turn to. Welcome back. Welcome back. This is this podcast is dedicated to finding the health in you. It is a part of my Boxing Fans Talk TV. And this is for the people who sent the email. I did change the time up on you, so you might have to watch me in replay. Try not to be long, but do leave a comment. Please subscribe, like, and share. But do leave a comment. I open the phone lines. This is supposed to be informative and interactive. So all I ask is when you call on the phone, um, give other people a chance to call behind you. And I'm not rushing you or anything. But if you're talking, either I will wrap you up or somebody in the chat will say, "Hey, I've been trying to call in." So if that happens, then I'm gonna go ahead and say, bow gracefully. But before we get started, we're gonna do a little housekeeping. So first thing, I want people to know that I cater this show to the poor. Why? Because I have to talk to the least common denominator. I don't think that diet and exercise and weight loss should be something that breaks the bank for you. I don't think it should cost that much. Secondly, there's 1,000 ways to scale a fish. That means there's thousands of diets out there that you can use. And mine is just one of them. You could call it a diet or a change in life. There's 1,000 ways to reach your purpose for diet and exercise. Diet being how you're going to eat for the rest of your life. And you really have to eat the way you want to eat. So it's not that I'm anti Western food. I'm anti anything that your body is anti. But that's why I call it finding the health in you. My program is complete. That's another thing I want you to know. My program is complete. I will add or subtract what I must. That means if and I'm probably gonna reiterate this a lot. I don't want you guys to think if I give you pushback or anything like that that I'm being facetious or just trying to ignore you. I do welcome ideas, but my program is complete. You know, um, I am open to new ideas, but when it seems like or gets like someone is revamping or changing what I put together, I will offer a little pushback, just a little bit. Why would I do that? Because that means I am not complete. If I'm taking in new ideas all the time, then I'm not complete. And it has now become chaotic. And your program, not my program. In that case, you got to go do your own. And you can accomplish that. You can do it. So I'll give you an example. When I was talking about this program before on this episode, on the Sundays, you have people say, "Hey, I use CMOS," or "You should do this," or "You should do that." Don't, please, please, please don't do that, because I'm probably not going to do it. My program is already complete. If you have something extra that you do, add it to this or keep doing what you do. If you feel like you already heard me say this, or you know it, then enjoy the ride or not. Um, this actually was for the few people that did write me and anybody else who's interested. So if you have something that you think is great that'll match up good with this program, good on you. I have two ways to do this program. I have a non-invasive way and invasive way. I'll get into it later. But remember, my program is complete. If I want to add something, I'll add it. But it is complete. It's not nothing new in this program. I want to make that clear too. Everything I can tell you, we already knew as Americans. And then you'll hear me say as Americans, the American public. But I really mean for the whole world. I am American, but so I speak from an American point of view. It's like I speak Christian point of view because I'm Christian too. Like I speak woman point of view and also black woman's point of view. I can't help it. I'm speaking from my point of view. All that to say that I don't like I said, believe this should break your pockets. The diet and exercise business can do just that. That is a 10 million plus, at least 10 million plus. Any little entity that puts something together, they're probably guaranteed to make 10 million plus. But really, the exercise industry and diet industry, especially, are $1 billion industry. It is like money in the bank. It's guaranteed. But I just feel like when you're trying to find the health in you, it shouldn't break your pockets. And thirdly, or fourthly, say this: I'm not in competition with nobody. As I said, there's 1,000 ways to scale a fish. I'm not in competition with any of those people. You know, they doing what they doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm not here to negate them. Not here to do anything. I'm here to be transparent, kind of like giving my testimony, so that those of you who find yourself in my predicament will not have to walk through the pitfalls that I did. And it's a passion of mine. I'm not in here to get rich. Now, I do have a program and I do charge, but I charge because I'm individually catering it especially for you. When you enter this program, you have to open your mind and be ready and susceptible to new ideas or new ways of thinking. That's the only way. And I will give you proof why you should, or I will break it down why you should. I'm going to try not to be long winded as I tend to do. I can, so I must apologize ahead of time for that. And also, no filibustering. As I say, I'm not in competition. This is not a debate show. What I hope to gain through this show is to be informative, persuasive, and interactive. That's all I can ask for. So, a little bit more housekeeping right here. First, I want everybody to know because I haven't been here in a while. I'm going to reiterate something. I am not a doctor, not a nurse or medical aide, or medical assistant or anything. And I don't play one on TV. I do not advocate going against what your medical professional has advised. Never do I advocate. Everything I can tell you to do will work well with whatever your doctor tells you to do. I am not a dietitian. And some people think that's easy work, but it's not. It's not. And I think they're aware of the inconsistencies on how they, say want to eat. Like, there's some mitigating factors that make people fall in pitfalls or not. If you don't have that factor, what you should do is thank God or pray to whoever you pray to and thank them for not letting you be a part of the group that, you know, stuff, the bad things happen to as far as health. Thank God that that's not you. I do feel blessed by God abundantly. And I have to look at what I've been through as something that I was supposed to help somebody. I was supposed to give my testimony. So that's what you see me doing. What I am, though, and this is the most important, what I am is a person with experiences on health, issues on a heightened level. That's what I am. We can all agree a doctor have credentials and formal training or knowledge. We also can agree that most doctors do not have experience with the medical issues that they're treating. Meaning, like in my case, they are not afflicted with my issues or living with the issue that I have. So in that case, who's the subject matter expert? You'll hear me say SME. That's a me. Who's the subject matter expert? It should be me. My doctor never has, probably never will get a thyroid issue like hyperthyroidism, removal of Hashimoto's, etc. I don't have Hashimoto's, to be clear. But there's so many different levels to thyroid issue. My doctor don't have that. He can't tell you better than I can what that all means and what it do to the body. But not only am I a SME, he's a SME because he went to school, got credentials, learned how to address those issues. I live with it. So who has more experience, me or the doctor? I can tell you everything about it that he could never tell you. I can tell you how stuff feels. I can tell you what it does to you. I can tell you the process. He could never tell you that because he never lived it. He could tell you what the book said. I can tell you what it actually feel like. So keep that in mind. In that case, like I said, you become the SME because you're the one with the affliction. But those are housekeeping things I wanted to say. And I want to put up some training charts. Uh, I'm a little woozy from all the medicine they gave me, but work with me, bear with me. I'm trying to get us there. I said I was gonna come on, so I made sure I did. So this is where you at. This is the topic of the day. Finding the health in you. This is a chart that I made up. And I mirrored it or imitated, like, I thought about the food pyramid and to use as a chart. So I did this pyramid, you know. Um, this chart displays the importance of my program. And I know y'all said where the food at. I don't need to put it in there because it's represented in the middle. So let's work from the bottom on up. Okay. So at the bottom it says 60% mental. The program that I will offer to you is 60% mental. I don't have to go in depth because it's self-explanatory. As I said, I won't go try to be long-winded. I can tell you why everything because sometimes you got to trick your brain or you got to know certain things so you'll know what to expect and how things can work better for you. There's a whole lot of things that's known but unknown. The problem with the information that we got, all the information is out there. They just throw it sporadically and chaotically. So you can't put it together and connect the dots. Now, I have formal training in medical understanding of the human body because I've taken anatomy classes. And I did so while trying to, to enter into the ultrasound program. That's why I took it. And I have a lot of informal training um, because I read books myself, trying to help myself. I got on this journey by trying to better myself, trying to help myself. Because what the doctors would tell me, it just didn't make sense. And even though it didn't make sense, I would try everything that they said. It never worked. But once I stumbled onto this way, and I did it inadvertently, like I said, for selfish reasoning, I was like, ah, it's like the stars lined up and everything, came together. The biggest area is the mental. You will see that it's 60%. 30% is what you eat. It's not how much you eat, it's what you eat. Because when you eat clean, like really, really clean, because a lot of people say they eat clean, but they don't. A lot of us think we eat clean. Here's the thing, a lot of us are long in the tooth, and long in the tooth in the situation of what you eat could be just, 20 some years old. Once you get used to eating the Western diet, you don't want to depart from it. It's your culture, it's your tradition, it's your it's your social activity, it's your pleasure. I don't want to take that away from you. But the reason why I say finding the health in you, because the journey is to find the health in you. It may be one thing of Western food that you must stay away from. Everything else you can still eat and still live that long, happy life. But if you find that what you're eating is making you sick, you have to make a change because your body will turn on you. And that's how far I'm gonna go with that. 10% is exercise. A lot of people equate or think that exercise is a must in order to diet and lose weight. It's not. It's not a must. In fact, my program, you don't even have to exercise. You will get to a point in the program where you feel compelled to exercise. And that's when you do it. When you feel compelled. Because when you're doing something you really don't want to do, it's a factor for derailment. So that's why I design my program. So we don't have to go through that. And again, you can fall short or fall down. After all, tomorrow is another day in my Vivian Lee voice. And I do mean that. If you fall down today, get back on the horse tomorrow. Hell, get back on the horse in an hour. Don't worry about failure because it's going to happen. Nobody's perfect. And, and I want to expel some myths. I do that too. I like to debunk things and dispel myths and everything. But I told you I'm going to keep it moving because I wrote everything down. I don't want to be long winded. Um, to prove to you a couple of things I'm gonna talk about, like um, you don't need exercise. I want to prove that point right there. I just want to give a little proof. You can survive without it. You don't need exercise. Um, Go out there and have a surgery or procedure, or you're lovesick, or whatever. You can put yourself based on feelings that you have. You can put yourself in a state of being, of all kinds of state of being. There's many emotional states of being, but you can put yourself in a state of being either inadvertently or directly. A procedure or a surgery is the easiest to talk about because you're in a state of being, of going through a traumatic experience. Surgery is traumatic. And then after that, the recovery part of it. So you are in a state of being that's direct. You elected to do that surgery, or maybe you had to do that surgery because to save your life or whatever. So once you put yourself directly, ways of indirectly would be, like I said, you love sick, something like that. You didn't, if you love sick, you didn't want to stop the love, right? But there's two parts of your body: the parasympathetic nervous system and the sympathetic nervous system. We're not gonna go in depth. One of them is for when you're regular, you're happy, everything going good, and guess when you're in that state of being, guess what? You can eat. You eat like you like. As there's a myth out there that people think that need to eat so much less to lose weight, but you don't. You need to eat more. You need to eat way more to lose weight. And again, you're gonna go back and say, well, if I eat more, I gotta do that much more exercise. Not that simple. Not that simple, and I'll tell you why. In a minute. So if you have this surgery and you come out, most people that's 40 and up probably had a surgery by now. But you come out of the surgery or you know, intensive procedure, you'll go to ICU, to so they can watch you. And what normally happens? That first day, second day, third day, for me, it's always be 3 days. It's always 3 days. And the doctor needs to see something to give them a telltale sign that everything is copacetic, working like it's supposed to. For me, my experience is that they need to see you go to the bathroom. Everything goes well with that, they be like, okay, you're on the mend. Another thing they want to see is you be hungry. You're hungry. You're asking for food. You're damn near demanding it. I know whenever I come out of surgery, I don't think about food. I'm in and out from the drugs that they put me under. Food is the last thing on my mind. I can go that whole day and never be pressed for food. I ain't pressed for water neither because they got the IV going. I'm completely hydrated. And you guys stay hydrated this summer. It's hot. And so I'm not hungry. I ain't thirsty. And I'll go 1, 2, 3. On that third day, I'm hungry as hell. You hear me? I'm hungry. I'm so hungry. Because soon as somebody walk in, I said, when can I eat? And that makes the doctors happy because they know when you ask questions like that, you're on the mend, right? Like, when can I eat? We gotta eat now. I gotta do it now. And they be like, well, you'll get breakfast in the morning. So they make me wait it out again for the rest of that day. When I leave the hospital, because once I eat good and maybe a day or two, I don't know. Because normally I be like 5 days after surgery. By the time I leave the hospital, I have lost 10 pounds. Mind you, the last 2 days I'm eating like nobody business. I'm trying to eat everything up. I'm telling my visitors, bring me this, bring me that. I'm eating all the bad stuff because the hunger is incredible. It's like, man, I'm gonna eat a person in a minute. So I do that, right? And so I know I was eating a lot of calories that day. Or I was taking in more than I was putting out. And so I get home, and because I can feel that I lost weight, I know people think, oh, how you feel that? If you pay attention to detail, you can feel it. You lose weight when you pee, you poop, you just stand up. I mean, you're always losing weight. But you're talking about minuscule of ounces, or it might be 4 ounces that you lost today. you'll put that back taking the shower. Anywho, but like I said, the last 2 days I'm eating. I get home, first thing I want to do is get on the scale, and voila, 10 pounds or more in 3 days. Does that prove to you that you don't have to do no exercise to lose weight? All I did was fast. Essentially, that's what I did. And fasting is important. This is why doctors tell you um, they don't want to feed you before surgery and after because they want you to fast. They don't put it to you in them terms. That's exactly what they're trying to get you to do. So when people tell you got to eat every day and all this stuff, that's a myth. Got to eat all this stuff on this pyramid again, a myth. So I'm gonna prove a couple of things. Like I said, you can survive off water alone. Look, I've gone 3 days without eating, and all I had was water coming through the IV. That's just 3 days. But you can actually go. You know, it's hit or miss for everybody, but you can put the deviation formula on this one too. But you're talking 30, 40 days. You can go that long without eating, and you won't be hurt, starving, or nothing. Especially the more weight you got on you. You can do it, but it's not fun, is it? It ain't gonna be fun for nobody to do nothing like that. Um, you can lose a lot of weight in a short amount of time, and it's not detrimental. I know that you can go to the doctor and say, "Hey, doc, oh man, doc, in 1 week I lost 15 pounds," and the red flag's gonna go up. You won't actually hear the sound, red flags gonna go up, and the doc gonna be like, "Oh my goodness, well we gotta do this test, we gotta do that test." It's an emergency. But at the same token, you go in there and you say, "Doc, I don't know what's going on, but this week I gained 15 pounds. Count them. One, five, 15." The doctor gonna give you advice or say something to you that's either gonna piss you off or make you seem foolish, and it's gonna defeat you in your spirit. He gonna say, like LL told some people, "Put the Twinkie down, push back from the table, and stay out of them buffets." And that is very defeating and cruel because it's not why you can gain 15 pounds. The red flags don't go up. That's their piece of advice. The conversation over. The visit is over. Mark my words. That just push back from the table. The doctor don't help you. They haven't helped you, and that's all they want to say to you. But if you lose 15, red flag. We gotta stop this gravy train because they suggest. When I say they, doctors all over suggest that healthy weight loss is between 1 and 2 days. I mean, 1 and 2 pounds a week. This is what they saying. If you lost 1 pound a week, you should be good. If you lost 2 pounds a week, you should be excellent. I'm here to tell you, my program, you're gonna lose way more than that per week. If you go the non-invasive way, I'm I'm a guess. I'll take there two, and I'll say between 2 and 6 or more. I can't call it, but it'll be more than two. If you do my invasive way, between 15 to 20 pounds, and you won't be hurting, you won't be starving, you won't be lacking anything. But I can promise you this, that that's what will happen. But I can also promise you that if you don't follow it to the letter, it won't happen. I can promise you that. A lot of people that might think, there's a lot of people that try different diets and weight loss. I tell you, I did it. I did it. I promise you, I did. I did. And nothing happened. You got people like me because I had my thyroid removed, but I'm not going to go in depth. So I make no metabolism at all. And I explained that in my previous videos. But a person like me, who was told, you got to eat a little less. I don't even eat a lot as it is. Never have, never will. My normal self is not a big eater. Um, got to eat a little less. And you got to watch what you eat. And you got to exercise a little more. So I went on that journey because I was young. I said, okay, I'm going to eat less than what I eat. I didn't see how I could get no less. But I did. And I said, I'm going to watch what I eat, you know. I won't. I never was a junk food eater anyway. Like not talking about. Don't get me wrong. The occasional Debbie cakes or Debbie snacks here and there, chips, candy bar here and there, whatever. But not really. I could have been a big ice cream eater, but my stomach didn't like it. So I'm lactose intolerant. So I never got a chance to go ham on ice cream. But I think if it wasn't causing me issues, I probably would have been a big ice cream eater. But anywho, this is what they tell you. All the information that they say. So here's the part where I debunk some stuff. So y'all always hear me. If you look at my show Monday through Friday when I'm talking boxing, I always say the average person, and when I'm talking about the water check, I tell you to drink water 2 times a day. And this, the second time I'm telling you, I talk about what's going on at night when you sleep. You have a real sleep with the different phases of sleep. So you have one of those kind of sleep. The average person can burn between 900 to 1,000 calories while they're sleeping. Remember, when we give metrics and numbers, they're a guide. It means they took 5,000 people or more, put them together, gave one group a placebo and the other group something else, and they tested them and they took their information. And, like I said, they tested them for the backup what the people were saying. But they took their information, they tested the people beforehand, and they come up with this average. And it's supposed to set the bar for everybody who tries to do it. No matter if the average was comprised of people that's not like you, then how can that be an average for you? I mean, think about it like that. But it used to be like that across the board, but now they're getting better. Um, you know, you can't use one group standards and their averages to mean that's got to be the average for all the other groups. When I'm saying groups, I'm talking about racial groups. This doesn't work that way. So, like I said, I proved my couple of things. So I developed a habit during my childhood where I didn't eat all the time. I didn't eat all the time because it made me feel yucky. That's how I felt. I said, it makes me feel yucky. I don't feel good. I didn't know what was going on. I was a little girl and I couldn't verbalize it to my mama. I just knew when I eat, I feel yucky. I thought everybody else did, but I really started believing that I was over dramatic with it, but I wasn't. I just felt real sick. And I didn't like that feeling. But looking at it from my mama's side of the equation, here I'm trying to feed my family. I'm in this hot kitchen clicking pots together. This little girl wanna come in here and tell me what she ain't gonna do, what she ain't gonna eat. Not on my watch. So I got clever. I would walk to the screen because the living room was across from the dining room table. I walk over there, put a hole some kind of way in the screen, and spit the shit out, and have a pile of somewhat chewed food right at the bottom on the ground. I said it was a picnic for the ants. 'Cause I know some kind of critter or insect was gonna come clean that shit up. My mama didn't like it. So then she was like, you can't go to the living room. Can't don't get up from that table. I'm like, damn, we can't get up from the table. I know if we ever say we gotta go to the bathroom, parents never stop that. So I said, I'll go to the bathroom. And I was spitting in the toilet, but I was careless. Because one day she had to go to the bathroom and she saw the food floating in the toilet. She know that didn't come out, the usual suspect. She know that that is something I spit out. But then it became, I'm gonna follow you to the bathroom. I was like, when I got here to that, she said, I'm going to follow you, but she waited at the door. So I was spitting the tissue, roll it up real good so that it will flush. And she got hip to that. Some kind of way she got hip to that. So then she was in the bathroom with me. She was going to make sure I ate that food regardless, but I just couldn't. As I got older and left her house, I'm out and about doing what young people want to do. We want to go to social events, parties, clubs, and everything. I don't want to be the reason why everybody got to cut their night short because it was girl code, something that a lot of people that fell off on. To all my ladies listening, we got to bring that back. We got to re-emphasize it. Because some of these young girls today don't understand girl code. When you go out as a group. One got to go to the bathroom. Everybody got to go to the bathroom. You don't let your girl go home with some stranger. You got to ensure that she make it to her destination and she's safe. That's girl code. A lot of people love to see a girl by herself. Not a lot, but let me rephrase that. People who are predator or predator nature would love to see a female by herself and prey on her. The nature of the beast. We get taught this as young girls. That's why it's a girl code. Don't leave a girl stranded because you might just save her life and yours. But the probability of a guy coming at a group of women is slim to none. So that's why I say, yeah, we adhere to that. But those were things I learned. I learned about girl code. I remember having food problems when I was a kid. I just didn't know how to verbalize it. And when I became an adult, I still have food problems. But girl code, the reason why I brought that up, it trumps, me feeling how I feel about eating or whatever. And sometimes I've been hungry as hell. Just wouldn't eat. But when you don't eat, you shrink your stomach. You don't got no room, and you'll get used to it. And I'm telling you, you'll be fine. A lot of people who have watched my show, when I did show my face, and I don't mind showing my face, you guys, but right now it's allergy season. But when I did show my face, a lot of people thought I was short, but I'm not. I'm 5'10". I've never been short. And well, you'll never consider me a short person. I was real teeny when I was young, like pony, but in a good way. But never short. So I've always had a problem with food. I just didn't know why. I didn't know how to verbalize it and connect no dots. Um, Exercise. Exercise has its purpose. As you see up here, I got 10%. It has its purpose. It's for conditioning and strength training. You should have that, everybody. If you read what they suggest, and this is just a guide, that the average person, adult, maybe they speaking to people 16 and above, and the 16-year-olds are not adults, by the way, but because some 16-year-olds can develop quicker, here you go. Exercise is excellent part of your day. It is tremendous part of your living, but it has nothing to do with you losing weight to a certain extent. I developed my program in a way that is. See, got a lot of personal trainers out there that are thin naturally. And they go in the gym and they do exercise and they think they really do believe that what they're doing to their body, they did that. But they're not admitting to you that they naturally thin. But you get some people that exercise their way to being thin. But that's because it only worked because everything else in their body was working. When you find the health in you and you get healthy, a healthy body is a fit body all day long. And a fit body is a healthy body all day long. Now, you don't want to be laying around and not doing nothing because you'll get atrophy. I think that's how it's said, atrophy. And you might as well be paralyzed. So this is why conditioning and exercising is good. Your core is one of the most important parts of your body to exercise. You do that because you use your stomach muscles for everything, for driving, for reaching in the cabinet to get or the cupboards, for bending over, for standing up, for even just talking. You use your stomach muscles. And all it takes is for you to get cut in that area. And you're going to see how much. Trust me, take my word for it. That is the good thing about it. I do know how to work out in the gym and I do like it. I have had personal trainers. It's not my niche to get into all of exercise. That's not what I developed my program to talk about. Could I show you proper exercise and all that? But that's not my forte. So you won't hear it here. All you're gonna know is that probably by phase two of the program, you're gonna want to run. You're gonna want to do calisthenics. You're gonna feel compelled to get out there, and that's when it's the perfect time to do some exercise. Somebody came up to me and asked me, Miss T, how you get your stomach muscles to pop and all this stuff, you know? And I told them a simple, truthful answer: nothing, nothing. And I know people don't believe that. Your stomach muscle, whether it's a 4 pack, 6 pack, 8 pack, whatever your genetics is, it's already there. Been there all day. You do a lot of core exercise. When you walk, sit down, move, clean up, get up, take the kids to school, go to work, come back home, clean up, fix food, give your kids a bath. That's a lot of core work. You can't even drive a car, like I said, without a good core. But there's exercise you can do to strengthen it more. But that should be relegated to elite athletes like boxers. They need to have strong cores because you're gonna get gut checked. You're gonna need to be able to take that. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to give them core strength. A person that's not an elite athlete or trying to be an athlete don't really need no core strength. It's already there. If you harp on the first two parts of my chart, which is mental and what you eat, you will start seeing that core energy. I mean, real quick. But again, overall exercise is good for your health. Good for your health because you do build up lactic acid between muscles and all that stuff. You need to release that shit. Energy is never wasted or stored. You have to release it. Yeah, in other words, use it. So that's what exercise is all about. If you find yourself doing this program and you can exercise with it, by all means. So let's talk about getting healthy. Like I said, why it's important. And I picked two areas: your homeostasis weight and your pH balance. Simply put, you could take a white girl, a black girl. They could be the same age, born on the same day at the same time, same height, and when they wear clothes, they look the same as far as size. But you break them down to their bikinis and t-shirt, and you tell them get on the scale. The white girl can weigh, maybe let's say she weighed 115. A black girl is definitely gonna weigh 25 pounds or maybe three more, like close no more than 30. But then you look at them, you say they the same size. They wear the same clothes. If you put an Asian in from their country, they would get on the scale. Maybe they'd be 95 pounds, 103. That's the disparity between the groups. I say all that to say, even though y'all the same as far as females, same age and same height and everything, everybody is unique. That's the part when I told you got to open your mind. That is not hard to ask for. Everybody is unique. Don't ever look at it no different. Yes, two females got two breasts. They got the same things all females got body parts wise, but they are unique and different. Your homostasis weight is the set weight that every one of us have where we are at our optimum in everything. If we want to do a race, like running on, against somebody, you'll do your best race at your best weight. Whatever it is you want to do, whatever athletic or physical you want to do, you're going to do it your best that way. It's the perfect way for you. That example I gave, the Asian lady could be 103.6, like to the letter. The white girl could be 115, and the black girl could be 125. All three of them would be the same size if they put on clothes and out. Every guy looking at them would think they're the same size. The darker you are, the more muscle tone shows up on you. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But don't mean that the lighter complected person don't have the same muscle tone. Maybe just slightly different. Maybe they got a six pack and you got a four. But they have the same muscle tone. You just don't see it. Maybe their body's elongated, but that got a lot to do with genetics. Whereas the darker person is short and compact with their muscle. But again, because you're darker, you're gonna see the shadows and the muscle tone better than anybody who's lighter. But that's my proof, you guys, that staying healthy or getting healthy is very important. Because in boxing, we pick certain weights that we think that they'll be at their best, like all their power will be there, all their agility, all their reflexes, all their strength and conditioning. They won't ever get tired. We have to imagine you come off the street, what's your perfect weight? And then we tell you you fighting at that weight. But trust you me, the routines you'll go through. Um, I this boxing is the only routine that I've ever seen where girls actually got results in 2 weeks. And so the second thing of getting healthy is your pH balance. Understand what I want you to open your mind. Your body must regulate or have a regulated pH balance. You must be pretty much neutral with a hint of alkaline. A- An acidic body is a very sick body, in a body that's on its way to death. An alkaline battery, I said battery. Alkaline body is not necessarily the same as acidic. But as I told you before, an imbalance anywhere in the body is an imbalance everywhere in the body. And you must have a balance. So your body will rob Peter to pay Paul, keep a pH balance. And a normal pH balance for humans is 7.35. You drop under 7, you're going to start seeing illness. You stay at 7 or 7.35, you're going to be just fine. Because when you can maintain it, and also maintaining your body's temperature, that's important. A body's temperature that can't be maintained is a dead body. You got to maintain body's temperature. There's a lot of things you can do in this world to upset that, namely being in areas you shouldn't be in, toxic environments, and consuming certain foods. You, when we talk of finding the health in you, the journey that you can go on with me is we're gonna find your health, your specific health. Nobody else's health, just yours, your specific health. Don't worry about what nobody else doing, this, that, and other. There will be overlap. You got 330 million people. Ain't for so many personalities one can have. Ain't for so many body types one can have. We're gonna find people that are similar to you. You might not know them. There might be overlap, but we're gonna cater any meal plan or routine that I give you specifically to you, and that's where the charge will come in. Not a minute before. So now we moving on. To be clear, I have a non-invasive and an evasive plan. I told you guys on my show throughout the week that I was actually gonna come up with a meal plan for you today. You can start it tomorrow, but try to get like 7 days in. We'll be back Sunday. If you tune into the show, let's say Tuesday, then start then, or start Wednesday. If you tune in Friday, start then. I will try to be here for updates and everything every Sunday. And it might be a short show when I'm doing updates. It might, it might turn out to be like I come in just to hear somebody's testimony or just come in just to give an update on what we did for the week. And the non-invasive is the one I like to call slow walking. And the evasive one is the one I call fast walking. Because sometimes slow walking is good too. It's finding the health in you. That means finding who you about, how you get down. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what it means. It means finding your health. You know what I'm saying? Your health is unique to everybody else's. It won't be the same. How you get down is not going to be the same. Understand me? It is what it is. So in non-invasive, still there's no exercise. Um, the formula is half your body weight in water per day. But I give an exception. Here at Boxing Fans Talk TV, we ask that everyone, regardless of diet, shoot for the stars, shoot for at least 100 ounces of water. There is a such thing as water overdose or drinking too much water. You can literally kill yourself doing that, or you can become very sick doing that. We don't want that. But I will say anybody 16 and up can drink a gallon of water per day. That's only 128 ounces. That makes a gallon. That means if we're all here at this channel shooting for 100 ounces of water a day, that means 28 more ounces. Boom, you got a gallon. But you're going to fall short. Maybe you'll do 89, you'll do 90. Sometimes, something like that, you do 96. Guess what? You're winning. Don't ever think of it in a defeated kind of way. You're winning. Because if you think about from whence you came, if you wasn't a big water drinker and now you drinking 80, 70. After all, tomorrow is another day. You just get back on that horse. You can get back on that horse tomorrow. You can get back on that horse within an hour. Sometimes you got to trick your mind. And what I mean by trick your mind, some people be like, look, I ain't trying to be on that. I like to eat. I gotta have my food. But look, I don't like taking none of that away from you. So what you do is go ahead and say, you know what, I'm gonna eat that cheeseburger. I'm gonna eat that pizza. I'm gonna eat that fried chicken. Even though I know it ain't good for me, I'm gonna eat it. But what I'm gonna do is go ahead and eat all the stuff I'm supposed to first, then I'll double back. How about that? And make that deal with your mind. And what you're gonna find is when it's time to eat that Western food, when the Western food is up to bat, you're gonna be like, nah, I do it tomorrow. Your body is gonna prefer not to, and it ain't gonna even be a struggle. So if you need that coffee in the morning, now that's the only exception I make. Because some people that's a vice. That's actually a vice. I'm not a drug counselor. I'm not none of those type things. So I can't come at you like that. I will tell you, get off coffee. But that would be your choice. If you a 3 coffee drinker, what I will ask that you drink 1 coffee. Be satisfied with one. Do all the water that you can do. When it comes to drinks, you can have your sodas, fruit juice, whatever that you buy in the store. Do the water first. As I used to tell my kids, work first, play second. Do the water first, then move on to whatever you like to drink, the hottie toddy at night, sodas during the day that you normally were drinking, or the whatever, coffee, the tea, or whatever. Um, a lot of people say, "Oh, you don't got green tea as a part of your regimen." No, because tea and coffee are diuretics, and overall, they're good for you, but they're not. You got to have a balance with those things. Diuretics get rid of electrolytes. They do. They just do. You don't want to have that problem because I don't care how old you get or how old you are at the moment. You could be 15 years old. You could be 8. When you get rid of electrolytes, you know what happens? Because the main two, the magnesium and the potassium, will be depleted. Then you right into a stroke or heart attack. Doesn't matter your age. You got kids that parents feed Pedialyte. They be like, make sure my kid get these Pedialyte. How do they know to make sure? Did some doctor tell them? But they're making sure that their kids get that Pedialyte. But without it, that kid is going to be lacking a lot of minerals. Heart attack, stroke. Is not relegated to old people or older people. Or is it not? Get that out of your mind. That's me trying to rechange your thought pattern. That is not a thing. That's just regulated for some people. And it can happen to anybody. But this is why I don't recommend tea and coffee as a permanent staple in your life. But I understand people have vices. So bring yours down to one. But after you have your one, because it's going to get you going to work and everything. After you have your one, sure to get back on that horse and drink them 100 ounces of water. After the 100 ounces of water, you still want to drink coffee? I don't care. Knock yourself out. I know that you would not be able to. If you are, you're a bad person. You're a bad person. Maybe you need to drink your whole gallon, half your body weight. But the average person will not be able to. It's just not too much. As I always say, work first, play second. Remember that. Okay, the 3 phases of my program. You got the eliminate phase. Phase number 1 is eliminate, replace, and pay attention to detail. Pay attention to detail should be self-explanatory. How you gonna know something ails you if you don't look and pay attention? How you gonna know what eating this or eating that did to you if you don't pay attention? Have to. That's the only way you're gonna know. We're gonna eliminate all your favorite stuff probably. And to some of you, it's gonna be really, really hard, especially if you haven't done it before. And I tell you, if you ever write me and you say you want the evasive way, I would probably recommend you take the first 2 days off because you're gonna need them. You're gonna need them like none other. It depends. You're gonna find out how addictive to the one drug that beats them all in America, which is sugar. You about to find out. So we're gonna eliminate. We're gonna replace it. We're gonna replace it with other stuff, not as bad as the stuff we eliminated. And then second phase, we're gonna add back slowly. That means one at a time. Reason why you adding back one at a time. This is where pay attention to detail gonna really be important because if I add this topping, let's say my whole issue problem has always been just the toppings that I put on my food, like talking about like mayo, ketchup, whatever. Mustard, yellow American mustard has no nutritional value in it at all. It doesn't hurt you, it don't help you. You are allowed to use mustard on any toppings of foods that you eat through my program because it don't do nothing. Another one is marshmallows. You're allowed to eat as many marshmallows as you want. I wouldn't do it because it tastes sweet, but marshmallows are cool. No nutritional value. Ain't really hurt you. Help you. The third phase is develop your life routine. And the only way you're gonna be able to do that is if you complete phase 1 and 2. Because when you develop your life routine, you don't want to be vegan. Maybe you don't want to be vegan, but you know your body prefers it. And that means you got to find a healthy balance. Your healthy balance can be one day I eat Western foods, one day I eat vegan. Day I eat Western food, and you go back and forth. That might work for some people. Some people be like Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That might work for them too. I suggest 5 days a week, 2 days, when you find your healthy balance. But what you can never do, this is talking about phase 3, what you can never do is bring back shit that hurt you. Once you see it hurt you, don't bring it back. That's how you do that one. And those are my phases. Simple, right? Eliminate, replace, and pay attention. That's phase one. Add back slowly, one at a time. And this is where pay attention there comes profoundly in at hand. I mean, this is where it's most important. Because you're gonna be adding back the things we had took away. But you gotta wait. You gotta look at what it does. It's gonna take a while. Both I recommend a month time for each one. You may extend your time with one of them. Like you may do a month with phase one, but phase two you need more than that. Or phase three, you need more than that. So I'm flexible in that because again, all the stuff that you want to add back, you have to take time to see what it do. Really do. So here's my foods. And I hope this is it's not a challenge. This is to the people who wrote me about diet and exercise, who had questions. Some people wasn't sure, they just didn't get a warm or fuzzy. Maybe they wanted clarification. And the best way I can clarify is to give you a non-invasive diet. And in this program, I told you that scholars, doctors, everybody says what's normal is 1 or 2 pounds a week. We about to see. I can tell you, I work with the invasive side of the house more than I do the non-invasive, and we get 15 to 20 over here a week. And I told you guys, I find the healthy. Because if I hate to say the word fix, let me change that. If I address the medical issue that's making all these other issues, then you get to go. The weight is a byproduct. It falls off. This is why I've really be hard pressed with calling it a diet or weight loss journey. But in the end, you guys, if you see it that way, you see it that way because that's a byproduct of what I'm doing. When I address this real health issue, really, really good. Everything else line up. Let me say this about a person a long time ago that I worked with. This person had dialysis 3 times a week. And anybody who did dialysis, it's hard to deal with. So he had dialysis, right? These were his thing. This is how he started it out. I have this, I have that, I have that. I'm like, okay. And I'm looking and I'm estimating. And based on what he said he have, kind of know what kind of food he eat. But we grew up together. So I knew what he ate when we grew up. I don't know what he ate as an adult. So I'm thinking like, okay, yeah, I can see. First thing out the bat, I could see he was acidic. I knew that because his problems and issues, most people who are acidic have those type of problems. So I knew that, and I was like, okay. But it was other little mitigating factors, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna go totally in depth. And that was one big problem for him that he didn't want to really discuss, and I think most of y'all men know what I'm talking about. But I told you I'm private. I don't say, I don't say who it is or anything like that. Tell you who I'm talking about. It's their testimony to tell you. I'm just giving you the gist of what I've worked with before. This guy, I worked with him a long time ago. I grew up with him. I know him. Some people come through the show that are friends to the show, and I ain't saying they have this issue, but I'm just giving an example. So I said to myself, the motivation to get him to try my program was this last issue that he told me in a separate email, no doubt. I don't know what that's about. And he told me that like 2 weeks later. I was like, what? He should have led with that. Because now it's not just a acidic problem. It's something else to me. Again, I'm not a doctor. Not a doctor. I do ask questions like, what do you typically eat? I hear what you eat. I already know what issues you're gonna have because I told you I've been studying food inadvertently. Look at their properties, and I do a dumpster dive on what foods do for you. Again, my purpose, my motivation for doing so was selfish. I was taking 15 to 16 pills a day. I don't like that. Who likes? Raise your hands if you like to take 15 to 16 pills a day. I don't. So because I don't like it, I didn't want to take it. So what better can I do? Can I cut the pill in half? No. I still got other shit in there that I don't like and don't like me. Not like they gonna give me the main ingredient in the pill and that's that. They put fillers in it. The fillers that be fucking everybody up. So once I took a pill for this, I had to take a pill for that. I had to take a pill for that. That's what that pill did for me. That pill did. That's how I got up to 16 pills a day. And I was too young to be going through all that. So I said, no, I can't do this. So I thought about how do they know kind of pill to make for this, that, and the other, but they never saw it naturally. So that's what started me on my. I'm proud to say, in a couple of years, I went with only actually actually doing it was 6 months, but actually trying to figure it out 2 years. 6 months. I went from 15 to 16 pills a day to six. Two, I have to take for life. The other four is blood pressure. I'm working on that because they can't point to a reason why I have high blood pressure. Working on it. If I find it, that is my next project. So, again, I inadvertently found this stuff, but let me not take too long. So, breakfast, and y'all gotta hear me and hear me good. If you didn't catch all of, you come in late, you gotta go back and watch the replay. That's why I'm trying to keep it to an hour or an hour and a half. I already passed an hour because I know people can lose. I could be all day because it's so detailed and complex. I can tell you exactly what I'm doing when I mix foods together. But it's too much. Breakfast. I'm gonna tell you guys: oatmeal, cream of wheat, or grits. Why? Because they have grain in them. Grain can be good, but we need to understand in this country that grain is hybridized. That means mixed together. So all the nutrients and all that shit gets stripped out of it anyway. But grain and even in smaller amounts are good for you. Grain, I pick grain, a grain product because it coats the stomach. Coats the stomach. And you got people out here that's doing arduous work a day. Driving trucks, delivering stuff, you know, welding. I'm trying to think of these cleanup, a whole school, mopping floors and, whatever. Construction workers. They need to be fulfilled. They can't go out here haphazardly and then get hungry because when you exert energy, you will get hungry and you got to listen to your body. So this is why I picked the breakfast. Breakfast and lunch, by the way, are the two meals per day that you're going to front load the calories. I'm going to take the advice when I do the non-invasive way. And you know how if you pick up any food item, America leads the way with having labels on their food, but they suck more than any other countries because they omit a lot of stuff. They don't tell you. So one of the questions or the topic of the day was diets and weight loss and how they work. Well, counting calories don't work, even though losing 3,600 calories will drop 1 pound is equal to a pound. That part is true. But calories in, calories out, it just don't work like that. How can you know how many calories you're taking in if you don't know? How you count for that if you don't know? If they're not telling you how many calories or percentage or whatever it is in certain foods that they're omitting, Or if they put it on there, but they ain't putting a number beside it, how you gonna count them? How you gonna say, well, I'm gonna just eat less? That's why it don't work. It's just that simple. It's really just that simple. Number two, you guys have never ever in your life had nobody that's a my 600 pound life type person. Some of you, it's not an absolute when I say that, but most of you have never met somebody like that. In fact, most people who got weight on them eat way less than people who don't. Because people who don't have a high metabolism, they can eat whatever they want and nothing happens. And I always ask people, who would you rather be, the person with the weight, or the person with the high metabolism? Most people will run to the person with the high metabolism. That's a pro because socially you're gonna be the bee's knees. But here's where the drive get tricky. When your body get tired of fighting, and it will, normally around the 40s, um, now you're gonna start taking your health seriously. You're gonna go to the doctor and you're gonna be in stage 4. Or you're gonna be at the height of whatever ailment that you have where they gotta take it or whatever. They already in the final stages. They could probably save your life. I ain't gonna say it's always to death, but not gonna you're gonna lose whatever it is that you want to hang on. You know why? Because you are socially adequate. You've been thin, your skin look great, your hair growing like a mom, you're a cute girl. Why would you think something wrong? Why would you run to the doctor and complain? Probably hardly ever go to the doctor, but once a year, didn't get a heads up. And then just on some humbug routine, you go into the doctor and you find out you got the worst case scenario of whatever. You didn't get a heads up. Whereas the person will wait on them and they say, man, I look at a cake and I gained 2 pounds. They get heads up. They get a heads up all the time. While you're not getting the heads up. Is it fair? Yeah, I'd rather be the person to put the weight on. Because if I see it coming on, let's say I see it coming on at 25, I'm like, oh shit. In the gym and tighten up because I done put on 20 pounds. If I don't move now, it becomes my new set weight. And that's another thing. Your homeostasis weight is your ideal weight for you, uniquely you. But if you gain, have you ever noticed when you gain weight and you catch it within the first month, this especially to the ladies, men too, you catch it within the first month and then you be like, oh shit, let me exercise, get this off, or let me do whatever. And it comes off real easy. But if you take that same 20 pounds and you don't do nothing about it for 3 months and you try to get it off, you can't get it off to save your life. It has now become your new set weight. They come in increments. What yours is, I can't tell you, but they come in increments. And so you got to go balls to wall. Somewhere I heard that got two different fats. You got your visceral, your regular fat under your skin. Regular fat under the skin, the stress skin out and all that stuff, or over the skin, um, can easily be lost. It's that visceral fat that's around your organs. That's the first thing to go. You losing weight inside your body, that's what's losing. And when that's all gone, does it equally displace weight or get rid of weight equally around your body? But when that's all gone, then you'll start losing the fat under your skin. That'll happen really quick. That's how it works. You have, and to that, you have brown fat, you have white fat. White fat is hard to get rid of. Brown fat is easy to get rid of. The one group of people that have an abundance, and I mean an abundance of brown fat. I think brown fat gives you energy. Don't quote me on that. I feel like it gives you energy too. But the person who has an abundance of that is children. Why they stay lean and fit. That's why they move. A child who's 8 years old can walk or take 80,000 steps a day and won't feel no different about it. you might be committing suicide if you're a grown ass person trying to take 80,000 steps a day. It's damn near next to impossible. Whoever can do that, shouts out. And let me get to this menu. So oatmeal, cream of wheat, or grits. Now you can make your oatmeal, cream of wheat, or grits from scratch. I would say no more than a teaspoon of butter. But if you make whatever you make, start off with a cup. If you need more, you're gonna need more. Whatever guidelines that I say, most of the time talking about women, so men is always a little more to you than them. But again, we're working on the 2,000 a day calorie, you know. And if you use that diet or you ever been in the calories, you can do this shit blindfold. Don't get caught up in counting all day long because they if you stick to this letter, it's already counted for. Good. You good. And like I said, I even say, men, if you do oatmeal and you start off with a cup, you finish that. If at the end of that cup you still hungry, go get some more. Same thing for the women. When I say 2 packages, y'all know them boxes, everything come in there. Just add water and microwave. Hey, there you go. Hey, I suggest people go to the store and buy real sugar. And my mom and her friends would tell me Splendid is real sugar. I don't think it is. It's processed. There's real sugar out there, like agave comes in a liquid form, or you go to a specialty store and find real sugar. Brown sugar is a good substitute too for white sugar. Anything darker that you eat is going to be better than anything lighter. The only two groups of food that's really the same and no one has leverage over the next, but you would think they would, is green broccoli and white. What they call it? Oh, shit. It's not broccoli, but essentially it's broccoli. Cauliflower. Cauliflower and broccoli look like the same thing to me, but one's white, one's green. Of course, broccoli has its place, but cauliflower is just as good. White bread is better than wheat bread, but all bread, lay off that. We're not eating bread. The second part of breakfast is cut up some fruit wedges like apple wedges, orange wedges, pear wedges. Eat you a plum, eat you a couple of plums. As many as you like. There's no limit. Um, but you might want to prefer berries. You know, that's the best one. This one of them ones. Berries is like a staple because they clean you out. Every day that you get up and move around, Operation Clean Out by the night, and hopefully by the morning is completely cleaned out. Always Operation Clean Out, and berries help you do that. And all the while you eating this, because you can put some blueberries in your oatmeal and have some cut up orange. Eat two of them. If you're a man, eat two or three of them. If you're a female, eat one or two. You know, oranges or pears or whatever. So eat that. And you know, if you're on the 2,000 calorie, split that by three. Six, roughly six, plus or minus half a point. But that's six. That means that's 600 calories you're eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Some kind of way. You may you may decide to eat 300 calories for breakfast and get your other three for lunch. But I told you, lunch and breakfast is the one time during the day you eat a lot of food. You eat. I'm not here to starve you. But again, if you don't follow this to the letter, it ain't gonna work. Also, during breakfast, give y'all, let me give y'all a way to trick your mind. Before you eat, drink a cup of water. A cup of water is 8 ounces. Knock it down. Get to eating. The water is gonna be a fulfiller. It's gonna give you the feeling of satiety, which is to give you the feeling of being full. It don't last long because it's water. You'll be hungry again. That's why I got snacks on you. But the whole time you can either drink the water before you eat, but when you eat everything. Don't leave nothing. You eat it all. and then after you eat, you drink your water. Now, should be good for the morning, no matter what your job, because I have to cater to the arduous. people. The people who don't have an arduous job, you sound like you want to go evasive. You want to be more evasive, hardcore way. So do get in touch or whatever. Um, or you could be a person that get you them 40-ounce tumblers or huge ass tumblers. Fill it up with that with the ice you like that little ball ice, and just drink the water down. You'd be surprised. Keep drinking, take it with you, sip on it, whatever. Just keep sipping on it, And before you know it, one canister could be 50 pounds. That means you only got one more canister to go. Believe it or not, if you make yourself your whole meal, drink that water before you drink the meal, and then drink that water after you eat the meal, you're gonna be surprised at your routine. You're gonna be surprised that you were able to do it. You're gonna be looking forward to lunch for certain things. You're gonna be looking forward to breakfast for certain things. But this is a non-invasive basic meal. In lunch, we got a treat for you. Every day we eat, we gotta have potatoes. Every day. Potatoes help with dementia, Alzheimer's, hereditary, I can't even say the word, but a lot. This is why all militaries put their guys on KP duty. We eat potatoes like it's like going out of business. You have to eat potatoes, eat skin and all. The potato is a multivitamin. It'll fill you up. If you don't want to eat a potato because you like to put all that bull crap on it, you want something else, then make a crock pot full of beans, like northern beans. Get you a bag of northern beans and get you some beef broth or whatever broth you like. And you pour that in there and put a little water in there. Throw all your vegetables in there, like in the last hour cooking. Because the crock pots cook so good that if you throw your vegetables in early, you won't really, won't get that pop in the end. So I always put it in at the last hour. And you can make some rice. Try to make sure you get natural organic rice, because all that other rice is plastic. They took a molecule out, and when they did that, it became plastic. I'm just letting you know, plastic. But though that's an alternative. But like I said, the potato, white potato that is is a multivitamin. So for lunch, we're gonna have potatoes. You can get a big one. Because like I said, when you eating right and you eating clean, really no limit. Now do remember, the longer you cook anything, the more nutrients you take out of it. You make it less nutrient, and that's the whole point. Trying to make things nutrient. What I do, I have two ways to cook it. The good tasting way is to get it to a big old thing, Crunchy Crock, original, or whatever kind of margarine that floats your boat, and put it in the pan. Let it melt down, and then put your potatoes in there. Put your onions, as I told you, green peppers, red peppers, orange peppers, yellow peppers. Oh, the green peppers be making it pop. I don't even like green peppers. Remember that virgin olive oil cooks really fast and burns really fast. So you could cook with that, or you could cook with the margarine. Now, again, I'm not so strict in my approach that you can't put some margarine. Just read the portion. If you're gonna use margarine, do the portion side. If you still feel you need enough, get the spray bottle of butter. I do that, and get you invest in some non-stick pans, like heavily invest. Reference whether you do the program or not. Just invest in that, because it's gonna save you from using a lot of bullshit. I haven't used vegetable oil or them other Wesson, or what was the other kind? All them types that I used to buy. I haven't used none of that shit in about 4 years. Don't even use it. The worst I've used was Country Crock. And now I don't use that because I can't believe it's not butter. Don't taste that bad. but I've been learning, transitioning myself to cooking with extra virgin olive oil. So if you cook it with that, you just made a one whole complete vegan meal, and it's fulfilling. And I know this the part that's gonna get you time to eat. For me, how you eat potatoes without ketchup? But this one, the vegan goes off the script, and I can't. I mean, I would say I can't. I could. I don't want to. So again, this is when I tell you, if you're gonna go off the ranch or off the farm, pick up that label and read their portion size. That's more important than what they say is in these foods, because you ain't gonna be able to count the calories anyway, because they don't give it to you. They don't provide it. That's the whole point. How you on a diet when you ain't counting everything? How you taking in less calories when you haven't counted everything? You don't know what you're taking in. And that's what you're gonna have a problem any type of Western food, because they don't account for everything, and they don't put labeling measurements against everything. So you got a portion of what they trying to say. That's not good enough. That's why it didn't work for you. Why did it work for somebody else? It might have been one thing that that person had to pull out their diet, that, it could be something like just ketchup. Ketchup could be the one thing that ails you, and you got to take it out. Some of you, if you're allergic to some type foods and this, that, and the other, don't eat it. Then you can email me and ask me for a substitute. In between breakfast and lunch, I forgot the snack. So get a bunch of nuts, honey roasted, butter toffee if you want to. Again, this is where you come out the ranch. Get the portion. Eat the portion. If you want to do two, eat two. That's it. Because when you talk about nuts, they might say weigh it. They might say a handful. So you get two handfuls, it is what it is. If you find nuts with butter top, I love them shits. I'll let you tell me where you found them at. Because that's a good snack. That's better than any other things that you was eating before. And always fruits and vegetables. Don't cook the vegetables. Some of y'all can eat celery, cucumber, or carrot raw. Eat that. Cut up some cucumbers. You can season however you want. It's when you start putting liquid seasoning or toppings. That's what the problem is. We're not doing no toppings. The only toppings we doing is Italian vinaigrette, any kind of oil based dressing. The closest oil based dressing that's not Italian is Catalina French, in the French family. So Catalina French, I don't do the tangy. Some people like it. I like the original. So California tangy. Blue cheese, Thousand Island, ranch, all bad for you. It's dairy. We're not doing that. So snacks, you got nuts, fruits, and vegetables. Eat as much as you want. All this time that we talking, you steadily sipping water. Lunch, we got the potato. You can get a big size for just you. Don't have to be huge, but you don't have to be little. Because I don't care. Like, even if you make a little one, you're gonna be filled up. You know. But when you cook it, it loses its nutrients. You can also do a salad. Lettuce, tomatoes, sprinkle, shredded cheese. Just a little bit. I would suggest medium, mild, shredded cheese. Whatever you like. Or if you can, don't put no shredded cheese. But it should just be a pinch. Cut your vegetables. You can put all kinds of vegetables. No fruit in your salad. No eggs. And if you do meat, measure it. Measure it. Let it be 2 ounces. Salad. If you eat meat on your plate, as you just say, yeah, I'm gonna take this diet, but I'm gonna revamp it. I'm gonna get how I want to make it. That's how I'm gonna eat for life. Okay, if you jumping right into phase 3, you feel you know what your issue is, and you took it out, cool. See, it was just water for me. Now that I'm drinking the water, I ain't gotta take nothing out. I can just get the water up. That's cool. This tea is not forcing me. But I promised guys who wrote me that I would give them. Hope you guys writing it down. Lunch potatoes, potato for each person. We'll do cut up the onions, the green peppers, the yellow peppers, the red. At them seeds in the middle. Don't take that part out. Make a salad bowl. Lettuce, tomato, sprinkle. That means a pinch down on your feta cheese. I suggest a mild, medium. More than likely, if you're having issues, acidic, your body don't like cheese. It ain't gonna like it. But that's the only cheese you get to eat. If you haven't heard me say it, it's not what you're gonna do. You cut up vegetables, cucumbers. Some people eat raw carrots, cucumbers, and all that. You cut that up, but no fruit, no apples, no oranges, no grapes. Uh, put a little bit of chicken in, 2 ounces worth. Cut up rotisserie, whatever, already prepared in the bag. 4 salads, 4 stir fry. Yeah, that type of fruit. I mean meat. You're gonna put it in there. Just 2 ounces though. You do any more than that, you're going to get strained. If I really want you to drop, I would take out the potato and the chicken, and you would definitely drop. And maybe the oat. Well, I'll leave the oatmeal, but the rest cream of wheat and the grits. Oh, and I meant to say, whenever you see fruits, because for lunch it's fruits. If you want to make sure you make it through the bulk of your day, as you had your breakfast, and maybe you go to lunch in the afternoon, like 1 or 2. So normal lunch is between 11 and 1. But everybody's different. Let's say yours out between 1 and 2. That gotta hold you over. I suggest grapes, seedless grapes or with seeds. It don't matter, but grapes, because grapes are gonna help you control your appetite naturally. Side effect. I would suggest then after you eat lunch, do another side. Uh, time frame. It should be a good 5 hours between when you eat breakfast and in between that 2.5 hours. Get a snack. Dinner can be smaller portions of that potato meal. And I tell you, if you get through the potato meal, I would think, okay, person must have really been hungry. But you not. I don't. Most of the time, you can't get through it. I'm just telling you. I've seen big boys, everything try to. They can't. I don't know. You might be the exception to the rule. But that the reason why I put potatoes on the dinner and lunch, I want you to make it through the day. I know you can run damn near on fumes from breakfast to lunch, but at lunch I need you to make it through the day. But I need you to eat stuff and don't get the itis, get tired, or anything like that. Like I said, if you can't do potatoes for whatever reason, rice and beans. Something to coat your stomach. Like I said, repeat your lunch menu. If you want to do a salad, or you know what you can and cannot put in there, and also add to dinner steamed vegetables. So your plate of dinner, if you draw a big circle of dinner, cut it in half. That whole half should be vegetables. I say you can steam it. You do cabbage. You can cook your greens, put a little fat in it, or turkey necks, and make your greens. And if you grabbing little pieces of turkey neck and you pile it all up in one area, and that's over 4 ounces, or it's a big part of your meal, no, you need to put the turkey neck in like you normally do, and it'll be sparingly mixed throughout the greens. You eat more greens. Greens, even though you cooked it, burn out a lot of the nutrients, but it's still more healthier than anything else. If you cook those potatoes with extra virgin olive oil, guess what? You made a vegan meal all the way through. That salad is vegan too, except for the chicken that we're allowing. I said 2 ounces. You know what I'm saying? Take that out. And then said the other part of your big dinner is vegetables. If you want to make some kind of dessert like ice cream, you can make it from fruit from scratch, but you have to get a juicer. You have to get a juicer or a Vitamix. But I would suggest a juicer, much more cheaper. But you can't get the bottom line juicer on that one. I don't think they make ice cream, but I know the more expensive juices, like $100 juicers, and that's where your money gonna come. Your device that you buy, they make ice cream, and it's real simple without all the processed bullshit. It's natural and it's good. It's good. You ain't gonna get the bubble guts. You gonna get the full feeling and feel that you get when you eat an ice cream, and you would have made it. A Vitamix does it too. A Vitamix also makes soup. That shit is expensive. That's $500. But I actually had a juicer that was $600, and I gave it one of my family members because I rarely use it. I rarely use it, but I got me. I think it's Breville. No, 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 no. A Cuvin. I bought a Cuvin now. Before that, I had a Breville. My Breville was $400. My Cuvin like 500 something. But what the juicer can do is what I like. My Cuvin can make soup and cut up. It can do a lot of shit, but it can also make ice cream. So I can make my own dessert. That's why I like it. And um, all day, like I said, you're gonna be sipping on water till you reach a gallon or 100 ounces, no matter what. If you're not, let me get this PSA now. I don't care how you scale that fish. You can do my program, you can do anybody program. As I say, I'm not competing or talking about nobody else shit. I'm telling you what I do, what I'm doing. Um, if you don't drink your 100 ounces of water, technically it should be a gallon. It's not gonna work. That is another reason why diets don't work, people. Y'all didn't connect the dot. Let me give you an example. Arsenio Cambogia. I'm almost done here. Arsenio Cambogia came out years ago. And people was jumping out the window to try to get that thing. I ain't lying. I did it too. I tried it. You would call, they run out of stock, you be on hold. I personally think, and I can't confirm it, when you buy these products that they buy, I'm guaranteed weight loss to do this and to do that. I personally think that when you get it, they give you the stronger dosage. They got one that's gonna draw the people in and make them keep coming back. Because you will always remember your first love. That's just how it is. So when they send it to you and it's a stronger dose, that means it's more ingredient than fillers. Take it and you be like, oh hell, I dropped 7 pounds. Hell yeah, this week. Oh fuck it. I'm the whole month, the 30-day supplies, you taking it. Or maybe it's 3 pounds that week. And by the end of the month, you drop like 10, 12 pounds. And you're like, oh my God. Then when you become a repeat offender, you get the low dosage. And they know which ones to send you. You get the low dosage. And you be like, what? But you don't give up because you so cooked on and fell in love with that first love, the first dosage that went out. And you nobody can convince you that, they omitting logic, they omitting rationality, they omitting the truth. These celebrities, honey, yeah, I tried it, it works, blah blah. But what they don't tell you is you got to do another thing with this for it to work. You have to detox. And if you're not gonna detox, the carcinia cambogia is really not gonna work. And really, the carcinia cambogia didn't do nothing. It was the detox. It was the detox all along. That's the part you miss. Cambodia do something and replace something. It is good, especially if it got some of the main ingredients. It's something. But what made you drop that weight was the detox. You'll never know that. You became a repeat offender. You just made this man a billionaire. He good to go. or this man or this lady. So that's how it works. Last thing to say, no, 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 no. No toppings except mustard. No soda, no fruit juice that you buy from the store, coffee or tea, no sugar. Oil based dressing, and you can season however you want. And when you eat, try to put in ginger and turmeric in everything you eat. If you can sprinkle it on your salad and eat it up that way, cool. But you could probably put it in your oatmeal. You might give it flavor. I would suggest too brown sugar if you can't find real sugar. If you use real sugar like a agave, like I'm talking real sugar, go to one of these specialty stores and get real sugar. I not even like how it look, but if you use it, it is highly, 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 highly sweet. I'm telling you, you're going can't use it's not the same amount that you would use other sugar. You have to start off with the smallest amount, like a pinch. Start there. See what it do. Then add 3 pinches. But don't even make it up to a teaspoon till you get through like 4 or 5 pinches of real sugar. Because it's highly sweet. And real sugar will never ever hurt you. It won't make you gain weight. It won't make you do all this stuff. It won't, because real sugar is healthy. But it's be careful out there. Now, I done told you everything. I can tell you more. I will be saying things through my show. Please tune in Monday through Friday to Boxing Fans Talk TV. On the replay, you can ask your questions, leave comments, or anything. I promise you guys I will talk about that and exercise. To recap, I say finding a healthy you, because a healthy body is a fit body. Fit body is a healthy body. I approach things from finding your health, addressing those issues, rather than trying to put you on a diet, lose weight, because I know you address those issues and everything is up to par, all the stars are lined up and everything is working, wouldn't even have to worry about losing weight. That shit just gonna happen. You don't have to do a thing, lift a finger or nothing. It's just gonna happen. Okay? That's all it's just gonna happen. And thank the lucky stars if you haven't had gone through some big time medical issues or anything. Like I said, it's my passion. I've been through the worst. I've lost 4 organs because of it. I ain't never gonna be the same. But I think I went through this to be a testimony. I do it. Hey, I think I learned some. I'm doing a lot of research. I might be back next week. After that, I gotta learn a lot of stuff about this thing called histamine. I think we found the culprit. I think we found the culprit in me. So anyway, I'm gonna do a dumpster dive in that, because if I can get off the steroids, the good steroids that I take, it doesn't make me shiver. Steroids get a bad rap, but there is good steroids. Steroids also save lives. Brings down swelling when nothing else will. Bag of ice, nothing. Can't put a bag of ice back of your throat. So steroids get steroids. I forgot what they call it. Of course, it makes you gain weight. It also makes you unbelievably hungry. Come to find out that they had to give me my other medicine. I was there early this morning. Asked me what type of blood pressure I take. Told them the antagonistic nature, whatever, but they cause histamine. I mean, like, when I learned, I've heard of histamine before. Didn't know it. How could it affect me like this? But yeah, found out. 4 of my medicines are medicines that make that something. They will prescribe me that, knowing that they pull my thyroid gland, and that I don't have metabolism, and that I don't make metabolism. But this is what they give me. 4 of them. I'm very fortunate. I ain't rolling me down the hill. So now we got to do something about that. I am my goal from here to whenever. Get off the blood pressure medicine. I can't do without the thyroid medicine. Blood pressure. That's my goal. Pray, my God, help me find time like the present. Thank y'all for joining me. That 2 hours. I still did not mean to go this long. It wasn't that long. So hey, I hope I answered y'all questions. If y'all have any more questions, you can chime in. Watch me on a replay if you just joining now, you just here. Did give out a non-invasive diet so for 1 week, 1 damn week. The breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's for 1 week. After 1 week, cease and desist. After 1 week, I gave you a complete meal plan, and I told you how much you can eat, and if you need to eat more, because you should never be feeling full. I said we're going to take the recommendations that the American government gives or the food industries give when they say this is a 2,000 a day calorie, and we ain't doing those 600 calories per day. 12 doing 2,000 because when I know when you eat more, you do lose weight. Can't be out here starving yourself. But the two main ingredients is going to be the water, your potatoes, your fruits and vegetables, of course. Your potatoes, again, I cater to the poor people. People who out there probably doing more arduous work and tiresome work. They working outside. They maze, they cooking, they cleaning, they move, they're moving and shaking. I'm not talking about nobody who riding a desk. But you can do this. Even you still can do this. The person riding the desk. I have to cater it to the person who working out there in the field because they will get hungry. But if you want to substitute things like oatmeal, cream of wheat and grits, or nuts or potatoes, shoot me an email. We'll find a substitute. Till then, I'll see you guys Monday. Where we'll be reviewing some of the fights that went on this weekend and talking about whatever else, whatever's hot in boxing that week. So y'all know the drill. Till then, peace.